Hey, welcome. Hi, everybody. It's the full moon. Yay! So exciting. We've been planning on this chat for you and so excited to be here with you. So we're trying a new platform. We're really hoping that this works. For those of you that are joining on Instagram Live, thank you so much. We're so glad you're here. And we've connected to a couple of our different Facebook pages. If you're not able to find us, we're going to post this later, but you'll always be able to find us on our Temple of the Sacred Heart Facebook page and our Temple of the Sacred Heart YouTube. And that's where we're mainly streaming from. So I want to introduce myself. I'm Lisa Isla.
I'm Jamie Takata. And we are co-founders of the Temple of the Sacred Heart Church and the Inner Goddess Retreats nonprofit. And you can find out more about us at innergoddessretreats.org.
So we also host plant medicine ceremonies, and we host retreats. Currently this year we're having retreats in Texas in the spring and the fall. Our spring retreat is next weekend, which we're super stoked about. We have 23 women coming in from all over the country. Some of them are part of our Yoga for Love online training programs, and some women are guests. You don't have to be part of the teacher training to come to the retreat. And that's our spring Cosmic Awesomeness. And we start with a Reiki training on most of our retreats. This summer we have Hawaii. We have one spot left for our Hawaii Summer Solstice Mermaid Adventure Retreat. And you can find out about that at innergoddessretreats.org. And you can also sign up for our newsletter there, where you get you'll be the first to know about when our live streams are posted, as well as the full and the new moon Astro news, a card pull, any upcoming retreats and events, ceremonies, potlucks in the DFW area, Dallas-Fort Worth, for those of you that are local to where we're at. Next year, we have upcoming retreat in Colorado. This year, August. We just announced that, so that's going to be going up on the website very soon. As soon as we complete this retreat here in spring, we'll get that up next week. So make sure you're on our newsletter if you're thinking about coming to Colorado. It's going to be in August, the beginning of August 4th through 9th. And we have a fall retreat in Texas this year as well. Next year, super excited. You want to tell everybody where we're going to be headed?
Costa Rica.
So excited. So if you've always wanted to go to Costa Rica, we're going to be on the Caribbean side, the reggae side, and it's going to be super, super quaint. Beautiful lodge called Tierra de Sueños, and it's in the middle of the rainforest, but it's only just 5 minutes from the beach. And we'll do a week-long retreat there. We are super strongly gearing toward doing a month-long immersion teacher training for your 200 or 500 hour. So if that's something that calls to your heart and you really want to just do an in-person teacher training, as most of you know, all of my trainings have always been online for the last 6 years, but you get your hands-on hours at the retreats. Well, this way you can do your retreat and your hands-on hours all in 1 month period. So if that's something that interests you, make sure you send us a comment or a DM. I'm really excited about that. Thank you all for joining. I'm so excited y'all popping on. Anything else you want to say before we jump right into our reading?
Coming in Utah.
Oh, yeah. Utah next summer. So we'll do next summer, next fall. We haven't decided the date for Utah. And so that's going to happen next year, as well as our Texas retreats that happen annually, spring and fall, in North Texas at our Inner Goddess Retreat Center. And so, yeah, Utah is Moab. It's high desert. If any of you all have ever been to the desert, it's super magical. And so we'll be announcing that soon as well. So one of our teacher trainees has a bed and breakfast there in our Yoga for Love online training programs. And so she's going to be hosting us. And so our retreat center in Hawaii is one of our teachers that are in our training program. And she's hosting us in Hawaii. It's actually the same land that Avatar was filmed on. And I don't know if y'all heard, but Avatar's coming out with a sequel.
Yay!
So yeah, talk about
years in the making.
A mirror to alternate reality, right? That movie, oh my God, mind blown, right? I mean, so I can't wait to see it. But this is the same beautiful property that was filmed on it. It's a bamboo and palm forest. Excuse me, it's super windy out here, so I know I'm touching my hair a lot. It's in my face. And so yeah, let's talk about what's going on with this pink supermoon in Scorpio.
The pink supermoon. Well, do you want to first tell them about why it's called the pink moon?
Yes, so it's not actually the moon is going to be pink, which would be super cool, but that's actually not why this is called a pink supermoon. A supermoon means the moon is the closest in proximity to the Earth, so it looks really, really huge, and it's going to happen twice this year. So supermoon is also a more powerful time for manifestation just in general because the intensity of the lunar energy is so strong. But the pink moon comes from the Native Americans that noticed all of the pink phlox coming up. And the pink phlox is a flower that has like a bundle of little tiny flowers, and it's kind of long, and you'll see them all over blooming right now. And that's why it's called the pink moon.
Yay!
So that's the Farmer's Almanac definition. I'm going to turn you over to Takata so she can tell you about the astrological reasoning of what's coming up and what you're feeling. Maybe you'll resonate with some of this. And some of you may get more energy during the full moon. Some of you might feel more drained. So this is what's happening. This is deep, deep breathing and healing going on from Katie. Yes, absolutely. Really strongly. Yeah. And if any of y'all have anything that you want to mention, we're following the feed on my Instagram, Yoga for Love Lisa, so I can answer your questions live. Otherwise, we'll answer your questions and your comments. Totally, always check them after the stream.
Okay, so the energies right now, we've been moving through lots of shifts, lots of changes going on. So right now, it's really about stepping into our truths and our really pulling in our life force energy. So much of the truth aspects comes into not only in our personal life, but as a whole, as the planet, as a society, as humanity itself. So divine law. The truth is there's a lot of man-made laws, but they're not necessarily divine law. So finding that truth within ourselves, within our hearts, and really reclaiming any power leaks that we may have with other people, other entities, governmental aspects, rules that really suppress or hold us back from living in our divine truth within ourselves.
It's just that old belief system, part of it's breaking out of the age of Piscean into the age of Aquarian, which is currently happening and has been happening, since 2012, yes. And it's slowly merging into this frequency. But it's really about letting go of those belief systems in our society that say this has to be a rule or a law. That's a law of man, and that, for those of you that are spiritual, follow the law of Christ, or follow the law of the white light and the consciousness, so this is ultimate higher truth, which totally surpasses the law of man.
Absolutely. And we can get really muddled with this is, but does it really resonate in the frequency of the being when you're really standing in the truth of self and self-empowerment and highest self, right? So in reclaiming of our self-empowerment, our divine power, our self-worth, you may also be experiencing issues within your immune system showing up, and it really like coming into owning your health, owning your being, and claiming that for yourself. Listening to your own body, what your body needs. In that self-empowerment, it is also reclaiming of our time and what we need. What is it that we need, and really expressing that to others and to self, to claim your time that you need. Maybe you need time for meditation and you're not getting it, or a space to do so, and really claiming it for yourself.
She's looking at me because we just had this conversation yesterday, and then when we were really digging deep into that, that's totally coming up, and I was like, I need a space like to regularly meditate. We're about to move and things like that. And like, it's so on point.
Absolutely.
The same thing with one of our clients today. Like,
right. But that it has to do with your self-worth, and then really claiming that empowerment of self and your self-worth and what you truly need, speaking for up your truth for self, that gives you freedom to move forward, so you can move in clarity, right? So we can maneuver through all these energies in a really clear fashion, and really rooted fashion rather than scattered.
Right. I mean, you can move through and you can fake it for a while, and you can live in your spiritual self for a while, and you can escape your body and not eat and live up here, but that only lasts for so long. It's totally not sustainable.
Right. So there are lots of shifts and changes taking place with the energies right now. So you may find that there are major life changes happening. You also may feel like you're not able to, like you're ready to move forward, but something is not allowing you to move forward. And that's because story. Right, because right now is that time to be reflective and go back into, okay, what are these last little power leaks that were made? What are these pieces in which I'm not speaking my truth or expressing what I need? Or who am I giving my power to? And really pulling that back in. And it's when we reclaim that self-empowerment, that divine self, and really embody it, then we're going to be able to move forward. So this time is really about clearing any remaining bits.
And we've been saying that, but it's like, this is for real.
It's for real. Like, we're in this, like, you're ready to move forward. It's here. The time is upon us. It is just like, okay, all right, everything is in place. Now let's check and see if there's any last attachments, any leaks that are going on, so that we can clear those out, get it over with, heal that piece, and then propel forward, because it's all coming. It's happening right now.
It's already here. It's just the thing is, we sometimes seem to have evidence to actually believe it. So, I mean, this is really important to have faith right now.
Absolutely.
Because you've called it in. We are so powerful in manifesting. So
yes.
Pluto retrograde will push up purpose. Okay.
There you go.
Thank you, Katie,
there
for that.
There you go. And then we want to make these decisions as well. So there don't be surprised if sudden changes, sudden shifts, surprises come in. So we want to really be rooted in our self and in our empowerment to make decisions for whatever comes up in a really clear, rooted fashion, rather than being super impulsive, because we really want to embody that empowerment of self in truth and clarity, so that we can move forward with clear, grounded decisions.
Yeah, impulsiveness is different than like channeling. That's a different energy entirely.
Right. You just want to. You can sometimes, if we're not rooted though, and something comes up, we can make impulse decisions that aren't necessarily in our highest benefit. So that's why it's so important to really pull our power in right now as things may be coming up to show us. And also, we must remain flexible and resilient in these sudden shifts, so that we can really move forward clearly, and be courageous in the changes and what we really want to create, what it is that we want to manifest.
Yep. I mean, it's really everything, every thought is so key right now. We do not have the luxury of having a negative thought, and it's been like that for a long time. But right now, I mean, literally, it happens so quickly that as soon as you think it, then it's already here. Like there's so many examples. I can't even go into examples. But, I mean, like something as silly as like what you wanted to eat, and then all of a sudden, like, her phone popped up with a pizza ad. We were just talking about, like, oh, well, let's just order pizza since we're packing up the kitchen, and then bam, a pizza ad shows up on her phone. She's never had an ad from that company before, never had a pop-up for pizza. Oh, look, here we go. Like, the manifestation is instantaneous. So you have to be really spot on with your thought life. And if you need some cueing and some helping on that, you know, and on how to reprogram those old stories, I have a gift that you can download on my store, and it's an affirmation creation worksheet. And you just go to store.yogaforlove.com with the number 4. And it's just right there. It's an affirmation creation sheet. There's a whole bunch of free stuff on there, a whole bunch, shamanic tools and all kinds of stuff. But that one specifically, we've been talking to today. One of our clients came in. You have to really focus on your thoughts. And, you know, you only have 67 seconds to retract that from the universe according to the law of attraction. So unless you reprogram that patterning, you're going to have that same old story popping up. But it's so easy to reprogram. So easy. There's just a specific format that you want to use.
Self-worth, worthiness, worthy to be loved, worthy to receive it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the story that we need to program in there. We are worthy of love. We are worthy of women in our tribe that support us. We are worthy of an amazing job that matches our life purpose. You know, we are worthy of having time and financial freedom. We are worthy of so much. And so we just want you to be able to have the tools to program that into your mind. So that way your thoughts, when they do stray, you bring them right back. And, you know, like you say, when cancel, clear, delete, right?
Cancel, clear, delete. That was old program.
Yeah.
Reset.
Retract. Say it again in positive present tense.
Yes.
You know,
New program.
Installed. And that's the thing. We're all upgrading. Our DNA is totally restructuring into the crystalline structure of the new earth right now. The shifts are so sudden and shocking AF. I mean, shocking AF. Like, everything in my entire life has been taken with a pitchfork. First of all, stabbed with a pitchfork and then flipped upside down. And, you know, like, not anything has been unturned. Even my phone died and I had to re-log in and put new passwords to all of my apps. I mean, like, everything is just hard reset, like hard reset for real. Yes, totally for real. You know, can I get a woot woot? Because seriously, right? God, when is it going to stop? But it's happening, you know. So, oh, good. Like, we can see your comments over here. So, yay. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Kevin. Hey, Kevin. Oh my gosh. Hey, Enlightenment. Yes, we can totally book a reading. We'll private message you afterwards. So, what do we want to move on to? Did you finish with that?
I think that really kind of encapsulated, you know,
okay.
Just like pulling in, really embodying our highest self, remaining in that truth, being in that divine light, divine law, and in that empowerment. You know, that's how we can move forward in freedom.
The freedom is the key. You know, I mean, we have been in constraint for, you know, thousands of years through the law of man. This is the time to let all that go and really tap into your highest source. And if you're having trouble connecting to your highest source, or your distortion of what that highest source might be, you can pull in some negative frequencies. So you have to be really clean and really clear about your intention setting, and, you know, like, clearing out anything that's not of the white light, crystalline Christ consciousness of the beautiful Christ Sophia love. If you're not cutting all that out, you can pull in some crazy shit, and it could sound pretty real. You know, oh, that has valid points. You know, oh, that sounds like it. You know, but no, that's not what, you know. You don't want to pull in anything mediocre frequency. You don't want to pull in anything lower frequency. You certainly don't want to pull in those energy vampires that have been sucking on you. We're cutting that out.
Plan A, not Plan D.
She's throwing me under the bus right now. Yeah, it's so hard. Like, even like at this level of doing this work for over 21 years, you know, I mean, I've been studying Reiki for 2 decades. I understand how energy works, but to have this divine, pure evidence of how energy actually works, the law of attraction is fucking spot on. Like, if you haven't studied the law of attraction, please Go pull up the app. Go grab the audiobook. Go grab the books. Go to Half Price Books. There's 5 million copies out there on Half Price Books. Study the law of attraction and live it, and get your affirmations created to match that. And again, just grab that from my store, yogaforlove.com. It's store.yogaforlove.com. You can grab those tools. I mean, we're here to just give you all this free stuff because it's all about abundance. There's abundance coming. We're not asking you to make donations and make payments and like all that stuff. We're just doing this because we love it, you know, and you can come and like dig deeper and yeah, of course, book a coaching session or whatever. But there's lots of ways that you can do this with just, you know, your own support. We'll support you in group chat and video and our membership page and things like that. So let's talk a little bit about the sacred geometry. How many of y'all are familiar with sacred geometry? So you can make a comment or whatever if there's something that you studied. I'm curious. So sacred geometry is the way that the universe is chaotically organized. So it's organized chaos. Everything is completely so connected. And so here's another loop. And I'm going to take you on a very short loop. But this little sacred geometry kit, we were clearing out her altar space, packing up some sacred things, going to reset the altar for the full moon. I saw this. It's not a book. It's actually a little kit, which I forget where it opens. Oh, there it opens with this little lid. Okay, so it's this little kit. And when I am back in 2015, for those of y'all that have read my book or whatever, you'll know my story about having a house fire, closing my studio, starting the online training program, etc. That was extremely chaotic. And this is another moment of that chaos coming back into fruition, but also now I know how to handle it. And I have a lot of tools. And this is one of the tools that came to me. It's a little sacred geometry kit that you draw a card. And I had this exact freaking kit in 2015. And it was part of my therapy dealing with the fire. And so this therapy was to take a sacred geometry card, draw it, which this one is the card of wisdom, which I drew for us this week. And also a beautiful mandala on the back. They're all different. So the front is the part that you take a little piece of tracing paper and you trace it and you embody this, and it, like, you know, it's a cellular reprogramming. It's a DNA reprogramming. So I'm going to give you a good look of this card here. And so this is the code wisdom. And so that was like such a trip. Like, do you really actually have the same freaking sacred geometry kit that I had back in 2015? And she's like, oh yeah, some cards. I'm like, no, it has tracing paper and everything. She's like, oh. And I had given it to somebody because he was an artist. And it has like a little journal that goes in there. And I got rid of the kit. She's like, I saw that at your house. I'm like, nope, because it's been gone. This has been at your house waiting for me to come back around 6 years later. And
I swear I saw it at your house. But okay.
Where is the little
timeline?
Oh, here. Here's the
timeline hops.
Yeah.
I've also had
wisdom.
this since about 2008, 2009. So there's that piece.
So let's see. Wisdom. I'm looking here. This is the keys of the Arcturians. That's what these came from. Not going to go into that. You can Google it. All right. So wisdom. Got the front code. This mandala here. Sorry about the fire engines. We're in an urban area right now, and I know it's annoying. But let that be part of your meditation. All right. So wisdom. The energy of wisdom centers you in your body, thus granting access to your own inner wisdom. Accept the challenge of asking questions of your own inner source. So that is the energy for today, the wisdom energy. Just checking that out. Yes. So it's the sound of my people. Katie's an EMT. She's like, there's my people. Yes, absolutely. Going to take care of a crisis. So this is the energy of the sacred geometry for today and this week, which we're calling in for you.
The wisdom, moving through in wisdom. Like we were literally, that was what the whole energy right now is talking about, right?
Which that was like, I opened it up, flipped through it, grabbed the wisdom card. We hadn't done any of that research until just now. And then, of course, that's the card. So I'm feeling like, okay, for those of you out on live chat, you can tell me, do you want the mermaid deck or the Shamanic Oracle Earth Warrior. So anybody have a preference for our reading today? So I'm kind of being called toward the mermaid. Anybody feeling that? Okay. All right. That's what I thought. I felt like that was coming up. Yes. So this is a tarot, a general actual tarot deck, but this one has some really, really awesome artwork from Lisa Robertson is the author here. And the illustrator is Julie Dillon. So, okay, well, here's our card right here. The moon. So this is 18, the moon. This is one of the major arcana cards. So we're going to do that. Let's do 3. This is for the next 2-week period. Here, let's do this. Let's do that. I'm going to lean them up here. Hopefully they will not blow over. But I'm just going to lean them up here and put my little crystal to hold it there so y'all can see that. All right. And then the star, that's 17.
Blowing the mermaid.
She's blowing the conch, which I just didn't know I could do, and I just did it. One of those things that I just did, and I was like, oh, I can blow a conch. And so Earth Baby, yes, Earth Baby. And the tower,
everything
coming down hardcore. How funny. And this is 16, 18, 17, and 16, really all in a row. That's never happened. But of course it is here. Okay.
Can we even see them on the?
I mean, we can see them on Instagram if y'all are on my Instagram. I don't have them high enough, but I'll post them in the comments. We're going to post this on our Temple of the Sacred Heart membership page. So if y'all are part of the members, if you join at innergoddessretreats.org, you're going to get an invitation to the Facebook membership. All right, so let's talk about these 3 cards. And I will give this to you because you can see way better than me. And so we're going to go to number 18, the moon. So the moon, and here she is. She is.
Find it.
Like it looks like it's almost like an angel underwater. And this lunar energy, this full moon, obviously, here we go with the moon. The full moon energy is so, so present right now.
The moon.
So let's go with that one first. I don't know if y'all can see that. So you can lift it up a little higher. There. Put it up here. You can see it. There we go. Calcifer, don't. The cat's going to try and get in front of the camera, as always.
He may knock the phone over. Okay. The moon. You may think you know all about the siren and her song. You may even think that you know all there is to know about her story, but you may be wrong.
A little rhyme.
Those who have been blessed with the gift of song belong to certain groups. There are healing sirens, dream sirens, warning sirens,
which just happened,
and nightmare sirens, just to name a few. The healing sirens sing only under the light of the full moon. When they raise their voices across the ocean to the sky, they sing a healing chant, sending out wave after wave of healing frequencies. These frequencies help with calming the world's tensions, restoring balance, and sending relief to those who are suffering. The full moon siren also does one other unique thing her fellow sirens do not. She calls lost souls home. All those who were lost at sea and wandering the waves, she calls home with the vibration of her melody. All this happens in one night, the only night of the month, when the moon is completely full and procreate.
Gee, I wonder why we drew that card.
Upright. We'll go on with that. Have you ever walked the shoreline under the full moon and watched as the moonbeams dance and sway within the rolling waves only to disappear once they hit shore? It's
a mermaid, right?
It's like watching a magical underwater light show. If you watch from a certain angle, the waves look alive. The truth is,
they do, and they make sacred geometry.
Absolutely. And patterns of music. That they are simply answering the siren song, spreading her energy and carrying her frequencies to all. Under the light of the moon, it looks so spectacular, yet what happens under the blanket of darkness looks very different from what happens in broad daylight. In the dark, we find more space for our imaginations to run wild, allowing us to lose all sense of perception and see things that would not be visible under the sun's intense rays.
That's really true. I mean, it's another way to examine things, but it's with the lunar energy, with the not so intense. You have to be a little bit more. You have to dig a little deeper to work with the moon, and so she's not going to be as obvious as a solar energy would. You're going to come be in the video, Calcifer?
Illuminating the shadows.
Right. So next we have 17, the star. Again, you've got the conch shell. Move your booty. You got the conch shell here. Okay, he wants to be front and center. Totally upstaging the camera. Calcifer, move your booty.
House Panther.
Go on. Calcifer, go. Yeah. Have you ever been upstaged by a cat while you're live? I bet many of you who go live or have had that happen. What are you reading? No one. We're reading from the Mermaid Tarot. So this one is the star. This is for whenever you find this is perfect timing for you. So the star, you can see that she is blowing her conch shell. It's
Cat booty. Okay. She's gonna clear her throat. I'm gonna read the star. Casper. All right. He's just gonna lay right there. Just right there. Let me see if I can adjust this. All right, the star. Some wishes vibrate so strongly that they never have to be spoken out loud. These wishes are carried on the breeze as it's blowing and become tossed and churned over the waves and eventually mixed with the rhythm of the sea foam. The dream weaver hears the sea foam song and catches the melody in her magical conch shell. Under the watchful gaze of the evening star, the dream weaver plays the conch shell in a tune filled with the heart's desires of all those who hold a special wish in their hearts, sending it back to the universe as a wish fulfilled. So essentially, that's the same thing as, what it is that you want to manifest, what it is you really pulling in your power, your self-worth, embodying the self so that you can truly manifest that which you truly desire and setting that intention. You want plan A, not plan D, right? Like, what is it that your heart desires the most? Not, well, in the worst case scenario, we could make this thing happen. Well, that's like plan D, maybe even further down, right? We go for the A. Go for the A. Set your intentions and let that be fulfilled. It is there. So the big dream, wish or goal, the one that scares you so much that you won't even allow yourself to think about it for longer than a second, is screaming at the top of its lungs. Your heart is talking to the universe, and the dreamweaver is listening. Sometimes our biggest and scariest dreams, wishes, and goals are part of our karmic journey. They will come to pass whether we believe we deserve them or not. Now is one of those times. Your heart is setting the course of your next adventure, and the dreamweaver has answered its call. So there you have it. Just full-on confirmation of everything else that we just spoke of. What is he doing? Hold on, we got a dog that's running wild and loose. Get in there. Get in there.
He's agitated because there's a neighbor. All right, there's a neighbor. When we film outside, we have lots of different variables that are not accounted for here. Okay, so the tower.
All right.
So we've got
call
16.
in plan A. That became really, really clear.
Yes. Calcifer, move. Calcifer, move. All right. So this is the tower. Get off the cards, dude. All right. The tower. Stay there. Cat. He's sweating at me.
Fuck your tower. Fuck your tower.
He knocked the card. Just knocked that shit, didn't he? All right.
Knock the tower down.
Literally. He's mad because he can't be in the camera now.
All right. The tower. Before an earthquake is a low humming vibration that all animals seem to be able to feel. This hum alerts sentient beings to incoming danger and allows them time to find somewhere safer to be. No merfolk can be found in our park here. They have fled, instinctively sensing a need to move as the buildings crumble and fall onto empty streets below. Earthquakes are an inevitable part of living on a constantly moving and shifting planet. Suffering because of it is optional, however. The merfolk know which things in their lives can be rebuilt and which cannot. Can you say the same? The tower reminds us that things fall down and break apart, especially things that are built on rocky foundations or mere emotional and mental fault lines. Destruction is a fact of life. None of us escape it. Things end, crumble, and disintegrate right in front of our eyes and throughout our lives. For whatever reason, you have forgotten that everything is temporary. Something in your life needs to be rebuilt or replaced. Its current construction no longer serves its purpose and is being destroyed. This is a good thing and necessary for something new to find its way into your life.
You have to make space. I mean, you know, if we're going to really embrace the purpose and the reason we're here, we have to create space for it. So if you are working at Target and working 40, 50 hours a week and you don't like your job and it doesn't match your purpose, not to say Target isn't awesome, because I love Target, but you know, if you don't like it there and it doesn't match your higher purpose, you're taking 40 to 50 hours of your week and you're not able to manifest what you really want because you're committed in that time. Now, of course, there is always a means to an end. There's a trade. If you need to do that so you can do your life purpose and you need to work at Target so you can pay for your things that you're doing, or you can pay for your bills and then you can do your life purpose. But if that's your sole purpose and you're feeling really disheartened by it, you know, you need to create and move that out. Relationships too. What did you say? So yeah, it's just you have to create a space for the universe to drop it in. Anything else? No?
I think that really sums it up. Like, you do have to create the space. You have to let it, you know, fall apart, and then be rooted and grounded in self, so you can move forward.
When the tower's coming down, it's hard. You know, it doesn't fall
the wisdom
softly. So yeah, it's gonna have a hard crash. Excuse me. With all this wind, it's just got my allergies stirred up. So basic bottom line, little overview, just give a little recap of the Astro, just the main points that you think are the most important.
Live in truth, pull back your power, recognize what's divine.
Pull back, not meaning like shorten it or make it less, but retrieve it to, go get it.
Yes, retrieve it so that you can move forward.
We call it stalking your power in the shamanic training.
Yes. In clarity and in wisdom and rooted.
A wisdom card.
Rooted foundations.
Mm-hmm. So here's your reading here. Well, I'll post it in my Instagram story, Yoga for Love Lisa, and on our Temple Sacred Heart Instagram as well. And so again, this is the Mermaid Tarot. It's awesome. So we just want to invite you to be a part of our community. We are building and have built a community of like-minded people from all over the world that have just want to connect and to be of service and I'm deflecting the cat by actually trying to pet him but not make him mad. No. So you can join by going to innergoddessretreats.org and click the join button. If you would like to come to a plant medicine ceremony, we haven't talked to you about the upcoming plant medicine ceremony. So as we close, we're going to talk to you a little bit about the plant medicine ceremonies that are available. So this summer we have a midsummer retreat, 1-day retreat. It's the Divine Sight Plant Medicine Ceremony. It's July 31st through August 1st. And that's in North Texas at our Inner Goddess Retreats through our church, Temple of the Sacred Heart. And then we have another one scheduled for the fall. And so you can check out all of the different retreats at Temple of the Sacred Heart website, which is yogaforlove.com. And there's, all the information. You can actually even just book a chat right there if you're interested in talking about it to us to see if that might be a fit for you. So if you haven't ever sat with plant medicine or worked with the great plant teachers or done any shamanic work, we'd love to talk to you a little bit more in depth or book a private session. So just wanted to invite you to do that today. We're going to close with a meditation. So just close your eyes, just take a seat and sit back. Roll your shoulders back and down, soften your belly. Find either a gazing point or just close your eyes. We're going to invite the energy of Reiki. Rei is universal. Ki is chi, prana, energy, life force. So Rei, Ki combined together is universal life force. This is the life force energy that creates everything in the universe. And we have direct access to it at any given moment. We just need to just say yes. And when you say yes, instead of, well, let me clear my schedule. Well, let me just see if I can do that, and I can see if I have the money for it. Well, let me ask my husband. No, you gotta fucking say yes, like all in. The universe doesn't like maybes, y'all. All in, and the doors will fly open. Green lights all the way from here to Mexico, like for real. So this is what we're invoking in when you call in the energy of Reiki. The lineage that I teach, that I've moved through, is the Usui, Dr. Usui lineage from Japan. So we're just calling the master teachers, and simply by opening your heart, one of the simplest things that you can do is open your heart to the violet flame. And it's an energy of a white and violet light that's iridescent, and it patterns in a sacred spiral in a DNA strand type shape, and it comes in from our highest chakras that we exit and enter through the crown. And so that energy here goes out straight to universal source. You can call it in. So call in that violet flame to just recharge and restructure your body from the atomic level all the way out to your ethereal bodies and all of your bodies. And combining this Reiki energy, we ask in our angels and our guides, our master teachers, our spirit animals, our power animals, any way that spirit is manifesting as it is moving through the white light of Christ consciousness. If it is not moving through the white light of Christ consciousness, no thank you. We don't need your help. Thank you anyway. You can go ahead and leave and exit as far as the east is to the west. Aho! So calling in the beautiful Christ Sophia consciousness, which is the divine masculine and the divine feminine, bringing it into our heart, allowing that beautiful violet flame to swirl around inside our energy bubble and expanding out from the outside of our skin out into our further energy fields. And as the energy fills us up, it removes any darkness. It shines light on the shadows. It brightens our heart and cracks our heart open so we can start beaming this light from our heart center. The cracks might be painful. The tower is going to fall. But when we crack through and shine our truth, then it's undeniable that you're walking through the light of peace. And so we ask for that light of peace. We ask for that grace. We ask for the humility to do this work. And with that, we just expand that light outside of our physical body. And as it expands out, we create a shield or a bubble of protection. In the shamanic realm, we call this the Badane shield. And so we're going to jump out into the outer bodies and fill up the emotional body and create a bubble of like an orange circle around that energy field, shielding the energy body, and then fill that up with white light from the violet flame, and bump that out a little further into the emotional body. And this body comes out, and it comes out a little bit further, another 4 feet from the body. Fill that whole entire energy field up with white and pink and purple and gray and beautiful light, sparkly light from our Christ consciousness. And then shield that off with a blue shield. Bump that out another 4 feet, shielding off at the outside of our Vijna, which is our wisdom body. And the wisdom body comes in through our thoughts. And so shielding those thoughts, filling those thoughts with pure love and light and positivity, and what we do want. Each thought has 2 vibrations, what we do want and what we don't want. And so we're tapping into the vibration of what we are calling in, not what we're afraid of. And shielding that off with a beautiful green light, and then bumping that out all the way out to the edge of the bliss body. And at the edge of that bliss body, we call in our God self from all directions, all power, all past, all time, all future, all quantum realities, calling our power back into this present now moment, for this is the only time and space that we actually have our power. And we're going to create a mirror, a shield of mirrors, double-sided mirrors, which reflects back to us our God self and reflects out to us which does not belong to us. And so it is through this divine, beautiful light that we protect ourselves. We walk in truth. We walk in love. We walk in peace. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Oh, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been such an honor.
Absolutely.
All right. Have an amazing full moon, and message us with any questions that you might have on the comments. We look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Make sure to follow our brand new Instagram, Temple Sacred Heart, and our YouTube is the same, Temple of the Sacred Heart. You can find this recording on my YouTube. On my, thank you for the hearts, and on my Yoga for Love, Lisa, with the number 4. So we'll see you soon. So much love. Bye. Here we go. And all right, y'all, I got a new phone. Bear with me. I look like an old person trying to stop my phone.
Also,
There we go.